Hello everyone, my name is Anne. As you can see, my YouTube name has changed. It's now Adventures in My Life. That way I can post about anything I want to and doesn't have to be strictly books, crafts, and playing related, although it will probably be mainly books related. I have already done my TBR. I've already played my game. I recorded it and decided I didn't like the way that it was recorded, and so we're just going to do this. I'm not going to redo the roles. I'm not going to put the books back because they're all books I want to read. As you can see, I'm in my living room. And I've updated my books. I am going to go through my bookshelf really, really fast so you can see what I have done and how I've upgraded it. And then we will go into the books that I picked based on the game. I did write down the prompts and all that. So let me pause this really quick, turn my camera actually. Let's not pause. Let's just go into settings, camera, switch, mirror. Okay. So this right here is my Alma shelf. This is Romance and Western. I'm going to go through this really, really quickly. This right here is all of my James Cross or Alex Cross series. I'm currently on book 4. I tried to get that on my TBR, but it was not able to get on there, so we'll just pick it up at some other time. This is all my Harry Potter series, a book that I really enjoyed and I want to reread, A Woman of No Importance by Sonia Cornell, which I plan to annotate, however you say that. Pride and Prejudice, which I'm not going to get rid of, but I've already read it. Hatsune Miku manga, which I have not read, but I will eventually, and you got these two. This is my thriller section, which you will see that I've picked quite a few thrillers, so this one is not full. Then we've got the fantasy series stuff. I am going to jump on the Fourth Wing bandwagon eventually, but not this TBR. Then up here, you've got Buddy Reads. Either my mom or my sister has these. This is my manga. I've read this one, but I'm not getting rid of it because I want to reread it. You've got all my Sailor Moons, and you've got these two. This one is about a deaf girl who uses sign language and her phone to communicate. A stranger comes up to her, and she's stuck, and then this mysterious person helps her. It sounded interesting. I have the first 6. I believe there's 12. This one is my Women's Murder Club series books that I have. I think I've got all the way up to like 22, 23 and a half. I'm currently on book 6, but I'm waiting to see if my sister will like to read them. And then once she catches up, read those with her. This right here is my mystery section. This right here is a historical fiction. And then you've got 2 nonfictions down there. This is also my historical fiction shelf. This one is about the royal family, which I'll probably read just by myself, but not on TBR. This one, and note it. This one is We Must Be Brave by Francis. What is that? Lardent. I started that one, but I didn't finish it. This is my colored pencils. I'm waiting my mom to send some. So we are going to flip the camera back around. So I shall be right back. Okay, there we are. So like I said, I've already played my game. I will quickly go through. I did my Harry Potter game. I did not complete my TBR. My TBR for the month was the first one was Jack and Jill by James Patterson. That was the 3rd in the Alex Cross series. I did complete that. The second one was We Must Be Brave by Francis Lardent. I started it, but I didn't get very far, and I do want to read it. I just put it on a soft pause because there's other things I wanted to read. The second one was A Search by Nora Roberts, which I have right here. This one I'm going to start today and working in between laundry and stuff like that. This one has 456 pages, so I should be able to get this done. I am currently filming this on the 23rd. The next book on my TBR list was Children of Stars by Mario Escobar. I just recently finished that. Absolutely loved it. The second one, or the next one on my shelf, was One by One by Ruth Ware. I started this. It was a soft DNF, although I don't know that I will necessarily reread it. Again, I apologize if the camera tells I'm currently holding it in my phone because I don't feel like putting it back up on my stand. There was a lot of stories to follow in this, and it was just hard for me to follow. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to go back to it. I have read several others by her and love them. So we are just going to stick this on for somebody else. The next one on my shelf was A Conspiracy by Kat Martin. That one is actually right here because it was on my shelf. This one is the first book in the Maximum Security series. I did not complete it. I did not get put back on my TBR. Again, I've already done my TBR. We're not redoing it, so it's going to be a very short video today. The next one that I got, which you'll see in a minute, was You're Invited by Amanda Jayatissa. I'm actually going to pause this really quick and take the books that are on my TBR down off at the top of the shelf so that they're right here. Okay, I'm back. The next one was You're Invited by Amanda Jayatissa, which you will see in just a minute because I will go back over it because that got put on my newest TBR. The next one that I was supposed to read was The Thick as Thieves by Sandra Brown. Again, I'll get into that one in a second because it got put back on my TBR for March. The next book I had on my TBR was Gingerbread Danger by Amanda Flower. I did complete that. It was the 8th book in the Amish Candy Mystery series where this girl, Bailey King, was a chocolatier in New York, went to Ohio to help her grandparents with the candy shop that they had, and then they ended up staying. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really hope the author makes more because I got so invested into that series. The next book was The Boatman's Daughter by Ted Dekker. I read that before back in my early 20s, so I know basically what it's about. My sister and I were going to buddy read it, but at the time we were not in the place to read it because, again, I knew what it was about. I did, however, complete some other books. I completed Things You Won't Say by Sarah Picketed. Coconut Layer Cake Murder by Joanna Fluke. That was a buddy with my sister. Gingerbread Danger, all 3 of those were a 3-star. Then Jack and Jill was a 4-star. The next book I read was A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. It's her newest release. That one was a 5-star, my first 5-star for the year. The next one I read was A Death Valley Christmas by William W. Johnston. That one in my mind is a 5-star, but because the way I do my star rating of 5 stars book, I think everybody should read. Not everybody's going to be interested in Western. I might tweak my star rating eventually, so I put it as a 4-star, but in my mind it's a 5-star. The next book I read was The Final Homestead by James Hunt with my mom. This one was about an EMP, electromagnetic pulse, that goes off and how the people survive. I've archived a few of them. I found them on a website where I can get free Kindle books. The next book was Children of the Stars by Mario Escobar. That one was a 4-star. And the last book I finished yesterday, or the most recent book I finished yesterday, was Triple Chocolate Cheesecake Murder by Joanna Fluke. Again, that one was a buddy with my sister. When I re-rolled to see if I had to add a book, I did not because I roll an 8-sided die. If it's an odd, I don't have to add one. If it's even, I do. I laid it on a 3. Then we went into my game. I'm not doing shelves anymore. I'm just doing prompts. I've been averaging 8 to 10 books a month. So we were going to do 7. We did 7 rolls. If I roll the same prompt twice, I have to add a roll, and we did end up having that happen. So the first roll we got, I need to adjust these books. So the first prompt we got was 5, which represents the Goblet of Fire, which represents the historical fiction. For that, we got The Second Life of Muriel West by Amanda Skinador. I don't think I pronounced that right. This one is about a Muriel West who's a 1920s Los Angeles socialite. She finds a small patch of skin on her hand, doesn't think anything of it. Then it becomes leprosy. Then she finds out it's leprosy, and this is about her life. I figure out my cameras. This is about her life with leprosy. I'm going to go through these really quick because I've already done this once. It was a 40-minute video, and yeah. So the second prompt we got was Professor Snape, number 17, which represents a standalone. For that one, we have You're Invited by Amanda Jayatissa. This one is about a girl named Amaya who realizes her former best friend is marrying her ex, and she's trying to stop the wedding, but all the guests have dark secrets, and somebody else is also trying to stop the wedding. So this one was on my TBR last month, didn't get to it, so I was able to get back on this one. The next prompt was number 12, which represents Luda Lovegood, which is a mood read. For that, we're choosing the first in the Sailor Moon manga series. The next book we got was number 11, which represents Voldemort, which is a thriller. For that, we got The Sanatorium. This one is about, I can get it open and hold my phone at the same time. That would be great. This one says, half hidden by forests, overshadowed by threatening peaks, Samont has always been a sinister place, long plagued by troubling rumors. The former abandoned sanatorium has since been renovated into a five-star minimalist hotel. And then it goes on to say that Ellen Warner is the last place Ellen Warner wants to be, but Ellen takes time off from her job as a detective, so when her strange brother Isaac and his fiancée Laura invite her to celebrate their engagement at the hotel, Ella has no reason not to accept. And then, arriving in the midst of a threatening storm, Ellen immediately feels on edge or something about the hotel that makes her nervous. I don't need to know anymore. I have the second one on my shelf. I recently picked it up. So that was roll number 4. And for roll number 3, excuse me, my allergies are killing me. Roll number 5, we got 3, which represent Gryffindor, which is a red cover. For that, we got The Wrong Victim by Allison Brennan. This one is about a charter cruise that a bomb explodes on it at the Friday Harbor, and they don't know if it's a terrorist attack or there was a primary target on there, and just other innocent lives were taken. I've read a few by Allison Brennan and I liked her, so there's that one. The next one, excuse me. The next one we got was we got prompt 2, which is Hufflepuff, which represents yellow cover. The only 2 yellow covers I had was 4, 5, and 6 in the this manga series, and the 11th Hour by James Patterson, which is the 11th book in the Women's Murder Club series. So with that, we re-rolled. We got 18 with Golden Snitch, which was originally purchased. For that, we got Hello Stranger by Catherine Center. This one is about Sadie Montgomery, who is was a finalist in the North American Portrait Society competition. The next day, she's lying in the hospital bed diagnosed with a probably temporary condition known as face blindness, and every face she sees is a puzzle. My sister recently read this, said that she thoroughly enjoyed it, so that's the next one. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for roll number. So when I rolled the shelf 2, I added a roll because I could not fit the yellow prompt, so that was Hello Stranger. For the so that added a roll. So for the 7th book, we got Professor Snape again, which we had to add another roll because Professor Snape is a standalone. We picked Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. I'm not going to go into this. It's been all over social media. There's a movie about it. It's been on my TBR for quite some time. I bought it like 6, 7 years ago on my Kindle, and I've never read it. This is like the 3rd physical copy I've owned, and we are going to get this read this month. The next one we got was prompt 15, which prompt 15 represents Hermione Granger, which means too many books on the shelf start completely over. I did not want to start completely over, so we just decided to add a roll. So I re-rolled. It gave us a 3, which was a Gryffindor red cover. We could not fulfill that, so we re-rolled again, and I did not add a shelf. The next one we got was Slytherin, which is green cover. So for that, I put Thick as Thieves by Sandra Brown back on this TBR for March. This one is about Arden Maxwell. It says, 20 years ago in the dead of night, 4 unlikely allies pulled off a daring heist. By daybreak, one was in the hospital, one was jailed, one was in dead, and one got away. Arden Maxwell is the daughter of the most infamous man in Cattle Lake, Texas. 20 years ago, her father was suspected of a burglary that left a store safe emptied of cash and a dead man in the lake. Joe Maxwell disappeared, presumably after murdering his accomplice for the money, abandoning his 2 young daughters. And it's about Arden and how she goes with a corporate lawyer and her dad's 2 best friends, her dad's co-conspirator, a war hero, and a corporate district attorney who are watching her every move. This sounds a lot like I think it was Best Kept Secrets by Sandra Brown, which I read last year. So that one was going back on my TBR. And then for roll number 9, we got Professor Trelawney, which represents a female author. For that one, I chose The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. My dad has read this and thoroughly enjoyed it. He is technically on book 3 because he said to read this one first because it's prequels and it will lead up to the story of the Thorn of Glass. So he's technically on the third one in the series. And then the last and final roll gave us the Golden Snitch, which was recently purchased. If you were paying close attention, we already got recently purchased. I did not add another roll because that's 10 books. If I read, and I'm also going to be doing better reviews with my mom and possibly my sister in the month of March. So I don't want to add too many more and then not be able to finish it and then just have to roll and just keep adding rolls. I may change the roll the same prompt 2 times, add a roll to 3 next month. We'll see. But for the last and final roll we got recently purchased, which is the Golden Snitch. And for that, I chose The Lost Village by Camilla Den. This one says that is about a documentary filmmaker named Alice who has been obsessed with the vanishing residents of an old mining town dubbed the Lost Village since she was a little girl in 1959. Her grandmother's entire family disappeared in a mysterious tragedy, and ever since, the unanswered questions surrounding the only 2 people who were left, a woman stoned to death in the town center and an abandoned newborn, have plagued her. So she gathered a small crew. Not long after they set up camp, things start to happen. Equipment is destroyed. People go missing. They're not alone. They're looking for the truth of what happens if the truth finds them first. That was really interesting. Was recently purchased. So there's that. So with that being said, there is my TBR for the month of March. This is the next book I'm reading, and hopefully I'll get it finished. If I don't get this finished before March officially starts, I will not be adding a roll or saying I failed my TBR because I already failed my TBR, and this one will just count as an extra book in March if I haven't completed it. Again, I apologize for the very, very short video. Again, I did it. I already played my game, already recorded it. Didn't like how the recording came out, so we just redid it. So I hope you like this short TBR, March TBR, without rolling the prompts. Next month, I will make sure that everything is set up better to show the rules. With that being said, if you like this video, I hope you hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. And happy reading, and I will see you hopefully in a few days or in the next week or so when I update you on how I've been doing on my reading. I hope you'll have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will talk to you later. Bye.